Hey y'all, Natalie here, and today I'm working with the May Color Kitz collection from Shimmerz, and it is such a fun collection. I'm just telling you right now, this might be my favorite page I've ever made. So let's talk about what's in the kit. So we get a Lettuce Get Together Creamies, a Daffodil Creamies, a Sugar Plum Shimmers, a Meet Me at Sunset Inklings, and a new color which is called Rule of Plum, and it's in a Vibes. That's the spray. So we also get some cute dots. We get a package of baby roses, and we get a cut file. And as you might have seen on that first page or images, was the light bulb did not have flowers in it, because the light bulb cut file has flowers in it and they are super cute. But I had this plan in my head and I had to go with it. So I just cut the flowers out of the light bulb and only used the light bulb image. Then I took some floral stamps as well as some fruit stamps, and I am stamping them here with Versamark onto watercolor paper. And then I am using white embossing powder, and you can see here I'm heating it up, and I'm going to watercolor on top of these and then use those to fill up the light bulb. So here are all of my stamped embossed images, some florals and some fruits. And I'm going to open up my pots and start painting. So the creamies and the inklings require you to add water. The Shimmerz already has water in it. So that's what I'm doing here. You'll see me adding the water to the pots. And I have already put water in it, so they will retain the water. So sometimes you just need to add more. So that's what I'm doing here, but some of them already had water in them. So I start out by, I put my Rule of Plum spray over there on the side because I want to use it as a watercolor with a brush. So I start out painting it really precisely. I'm putting the yellow on the middle of the flowers and on like the buds. And then I realize after I do this first one that I can kind of go messier, and it doesn't really matter because it gives me the pretty watercolored effect that I'm going for. Even with smearing the paint all over the embossed image. So you'll see me do that here in a minute. And sorry if I sound weird, because I'm wrestling with my dog, because whenever I do a voiceover, she thinks it's time to come play and get in my lap and I'm talking to her. She's rotten. So if you have never watercolored over embossed images or done like ink over embossed images, it is so fun. Like, I love the way that it looks, and it's like magic, right? Especially with ink, because you can like wipe it away from the embossed image so that the plasticky kind of image just shows through. It's super fun. So I'm using the paper towels to roll up the excess water, and that's when I'm like, okay, let's just kind of throw the paint on here. So that's what I go to do next. And I'm going to link down below to the Shimmerz store. You can make sure that you go check out this color kit. You can mention my name and you will receive a free goodie with your order. There's also tons of individual paints in there. There's really a color for every desire that you have to scrap with, or anything. They work for cards. They're really good for so many things that you need to use them for. So I love the way that one looks. It's so pretty. I use barely any purple, just all yellow there. So these are the fruits. I do some splattering and then do different colors, and then the other fruits I just kind of went with the Lettuce Get Together Creamies, and what you'll see later, they look really vibrant. It's because I applied 2 layers. So this is the first layer, and I didn't video myself doing the second layer, but you let that completely dry and then do another one. And so I like that because you can basically have different colors out of the same pot, because it just is the vibrancy and how much water is added depending on what color you want. So there's all the watercolored images, super gorgeous. I have dies for all of these, so I'm going to run them through the die cut machine. Oh, I decided to add some splatters on top of that Lettuce Get Together Creamies fruit that I did 2 layers on. So I'll let you see that. And I have already applied clear gesso to the right side of this page underneath the light bulb. So I just wanted to let you know that that does have clear gesso under it, because I'm just kind of seeing how it looks, and it is exactly kind of the look I was going for. but I decide that I want a little bit of color coming out from under the bulb. Also, okay, those are the roses, and I wanted to color those. I guess I thought they were fabric, but I think they're paper. And so instead of dipping them in your pot like I just did, I suggest just using a brush as I did after the first two, because they can take on water, but you don't want to like saturate them like I did by dipping them in the pot at the beginning. So definitely just use a little brush and apply all the colors that you want onto the roses, and you can color them any color you want. So I also cut a title when I was off screen here, die cutting some additional foliage. And so my title is going to be You Light Up My Life. So I did light up in a larger die, and then I'm using letter stickers for you and my life. So this is when I decide to add a little bit of color peeking out from the bulb. And so I just go in with, I think I used the Daffodil Creamies as well as the Sugar Plum Shimmers. I made sure to, I put the creamies on and I watered them down to get more with water because they are really thick. So I'm sorry, I have to sneeze. Oh no, it's not coming. Okay, so I watered them down more, and then I let it completely dry. Excuse me. Before I add, oh my gosh, my allergies are acting up so bad lately. The Sugar Plum Shimmers. And that gesso allows me to wipe up all the little marks, but it drips and it's going to be hidden by the bulb, so it's fine. So I just added really small amounts of yellow and purple peeking out from either side of the bulb, and then I'm going to go in with my small paintbrush and do a lot of splatters. And then at the end I go in and add additional splatters with a larger paintbrush, but the small paintbrush is going to get you very small splatters. So you can always start small and add more later. But sometimes you just want the small, right? So on the light bulb, I am using this foam tape, which is the perfect width for how thick this light bulb is. I was pleasantly surprised with that. And I'm just going to cut it into small bits and sprinkle it around the edge. I do want to leave little spaces so that my florals can stick underneath the light bulb. That's why I want to pop it up, because I want everything to be kind of tucked under it. That's my favorite part. You'll see in a minute I videoed the whole tucking process. So it was very fun. So I pulled all the backings off of those foam bits, and I'm going to set my bulb down, trying not to cover up the watercolor too badly, but actually I leave a little space within the bulb as well. So you get to see that top left corner inside the bulb as well as outside the bulb, and I love the way that it ended up looking. I have these photos of me and my boys. We are in our hot tub, which is our happy place. At least it's my happy place. But we just got all of these new really bright colorful lights strung across the top of our driveway, and it just makes me happy. It's so fabulous. I love it so much, and I took a picture of us, and I just love it. And it had purples in the photo, so I thought that would go well with the colors in this kit. So I'm just tucking my florals in, and you can see I'm kind of putting some of the leaves under the bulb, and some of the leaves will stick out above the bulb. And it's really beautiful, but that's definitely the reason why I went back and die cut some foliage, because alone it's kind of boring. You need to break it up a little bit. And so I'm going to add the leaves with those little rosettes, and it just gives it a perfect balance. So I'm just going ahead and adding my wet adhesive here and tucking it in the bulb, and I'm using my Nuvo glue because I used gesso on the background, and it holds well onto gesso background. So I'll just let you watch that here. And then that one on the bottom, I just let it stick out. I liked the way that looked. Those leaf dies are from Alta New, and I cut them in that like shiny green, but I end up not using that color because it just would have detracted. There was nothing else that color on the page, so I just went with the lime green that matched the Let Us Get Together creamies. And now I'm tucking in the fruits as well. You know, sometimes like what is the word I'm looking for, flower arrangements have little fruits tucked in them. So I don't know, that's just kind of what I was thinking when I decided to do the fruits, and I was really glad I did because I really like it. And I don't know, I know a lot of times people say they're literal scrappers, and so they can't just have icons on a page that don't have to do with what the page is about. That's not me, obviously, because I have a light bulb, which does pertain to the pictures, but otherwise the florals, the fruits, none of that has anything to do with the picture of me and my kids sitting there. So try to think outside the box sometimes. You don't always have to be so literal. Like I said, this actually has turned out to be probably one of my favorite layouts I've ever made. So, yeah, I'm probably going to just scrap lift myself and do it again too. So for those larger, words, the light up, I used my favorite Momenta die. It is a skinny serif, pretty large. It's like 2 inches or more. And then because it's so skinny, it kind of needs like some heavy paper. So I actually cut that twice and glued those letters together just to make it thicker. And I've done that like 3 or 4 times sometimes if you want like almost like chipboard letters. I'm just adding a little bit of the Nuvo adhesive to the stems of these roses so I can tuck them in and just ensure that they kind of like stick down in there. I figure they're all going to get stuck down into some of the adhesive from the backs of the die cuts and whatnot, so I'm not super worried about them falling out. Plus, I don't like just turn my 12 by 12 scrapbook like upside down a lot, so I think we should be fine. I almost want to do like a piece of artwork with this as well because I just love how 3D it is. And I mean, I'm going to stick it in a page protector, obviously, but how pretty would that be just sticking out of the wall, right? Maybe it's just me, but yeah, so just tucking those florals in. I think there were 6 total in the kit, which is fun. And then that's when I decided to leave that little bit of the watercolor open within the bulb. And I'm going to stick down the photo so I can start sticking my title down around. And because the light bulb is so busy, we don't really need much more. So I stick the title down and I use a few of the fruits that I have kept to the side. And I just look and see where the green ones need to go. Just little bits of the page where there's no green that maybe I need to bring that color into. And then I tuck the fruits around a couple of the places around like the photos or the title as well. I am adding additional adhesive behind these letter stickers just to make sure they don't fall off. So basically, I'm going to use all 3 of the dots that come with the collection and do like a nice little visual triangle here. I'm going to stick that one. It has hearts. I'm going to stick it behind that leaf to peek out. And then I'm going to bring that green down to the bottom there because I have that other green round fruit at the top. So I feel like that's a good balance. And then I'm going to tuck that yellow one in beside the photo just to bring the yellow, tie the yellow between the title at the top and the title at the bottom. I'm going to add some jewels from Pink Fresh Studio as I always do. Oh, this is when I go through and I add more drops, bigger drops. So I watered down that Shimmerz a lot so that I could get a big funky drop come out of that paintbrush. So I do that a few times and then I roll over it just to, wipe it up. But I like the distressing that it adds to that side of the page. It brings some of the purple from like around the bulb to that side of the page, which I felt the page needed, and add a few more splatters. I'll add my essential dots my essential diamonds and my journaling off camera, and there's the final. I'm going to link down below to the blog post as well as the store. Don't forget to mention my name in the comments and you will receive a little treat when you place your order. And I thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and bye y'all.